Hello friends, Jenkins Dota here, bringing you another Dota 2 video on behalf of DotaAlchemy.com, and this is going to be part of the Dota 2 Advanced Mechanics video series. And in this video, I'm going to be covering Manta dodging. Okay, so to get right into it, what is Manta style? It's an item that you can get, and if you use it, it summons 2 illusions of yourself. So the way that works is kind of interesting because there's not really much like it in Dota. For exactly how it works, and as a result it was programmed to have very, very specific mechanics that can actually be abused. So the first mechanic that you can abuse with Manta style is the fact that it summons 2 illusions, but it also has the chance of replacing your current location with one of the unit locations. So it kind of makes the enemy team guess which one is you, which is, I mean, that in itself is good, but you can actually use this to do specific things. So for instance, if you look at, if I keep spamming this, you can see that it keeps moving me around. Potentially there's like a 2/3 chance that it moves me around, and if I walk up to this cliff here and I use the Manta style, well, that didn't work. That put my illusion on the cliff. There's basically a 1 in 3 chance that you can get over the cliff with this illusion thing. I don't want to call it a bug, but it's just an interesting mechanic that's part of Manta style. So if you're getting chased and the enemy team looks like they're going to kill you and you need to go for that kind of clutch play to get over a cliff and you don't have any way of doing that, you can use the Manta style for potentially really clutch stuff. And I've seen that happen before. It's just the reason it's clutch is because it's just such a low chance, and it's, you know, it's kind of cool when it happens. But anyway, so the next thing that you can do with Manta style is much easier, and it's much more useful than that. That's just kind of a cool thing. But Manta style will disjoint any disjointable projectiles that are coming towards you. So any auto attacks and any ability that's labeled as disjointable. So Venge Stun, for example, is something that can be disjointed. So if I stun Void here and then I use the Manta style, it is not going to hit me. It's going to miss. However, something like Sven Stun, if I use the stun here and then I dodge it, okay, well, it screwed up his targeting on me. But if I do that, it doesn't work because the Sven stun will keep following even though a disjoint happened, because it's not disjointable. However, there's actually something interesting that you can do with Manta style, because there's this, I don't know if it's like 0.2 second window where you're completely immune to everything. You don't exist. You do not exist on the map for 0.2 seconds. And I'm going to show you after how to practice this, because really all you need to do is get really, really good at understanding when individual abilities are going to actually cast after they do their cast point. And then if you use the Manta style such that that window, that 0.2 second window happens when the cast point is finished, and when the cast happens, you can actually dodge things that would otherwise be undodgeable. So I'm going to try to do it here for you guys. It's not easy, especially when you're controlling multiple heroes, but just to show you. So if I do the Sven stun and then I dodge, okay, that hit me. So I need to be a little bit later. But if I do the Sven stun, I dodged it. I didn't get stunned by it. So once again, this is kind of like Mantaing yourself up a cliff thing. You'll even see players like Arteezy, who has practiced this a lot, fail at this because it's just not easy to do in like a kind of clutch situation. You really, really have to practice and get a little bit lucky, or just be really, really on the ball with your active thinking. But it's interesting because you can actually dodge basically anything with this, even something like an axe call, where, I mean, how could you disjoint something like this? It's just not, there's no projectile. But if I go and I do a call with axe, I actually dodged it. So the only reason you saw Void running towards axe is because my auto attack is on after casting spell. So I was actually able to dodge that one on the first try there, because it's a lot easier than the Stormbolt flying through the air. It's kind of hard to see that. But with the axe call, there's a very clear sort of cast point that you see. He does this kind of taunting thing. So that's basically it. That's the 3 mechanics that you can abuse with the Manta style. And now I'm going to show you how to actually practice how to do this in a good environment for gaining a lot of experience very quickly. So how do we actually practice this? Because it's honestly pretty unreasonable to expect to be able to Manta dodge every single spell in Dota consistently by just going into games. You need to play thousands of games, and there's so many animations that are really confusing, like, yeah, you know, Warlock ulti, Lina stun. These cast points, they're so deceptive. It looks like the stun should come earlier, but it doesn't. And you can actually dodge these things if you have enough practice. So I think it's completely unreasonable to try to practice Manta dodging in games. You need to get Manta every single game. You need to play 1,000 games, and then you'd be okay at it. But there's actually great ways of practicing it. So you could go into a bot match, you could do that, you could go into a practice lobby, you could summon the heroes and dodge them yourself, but thank goodness there's a way to do it that's a lot easier, that's 1,000 times more efficient. So go into Dota, go to the arcade section. I'll double click it because I was in a match already. Go to browse, search in training, and then scroll down a little bit, and then you'll see training polygon 0.6 beta. Click that, install it if you have not installed it already, and then you can just click the play training polygon button. That's going to instantly pop a queue for you, which is going to put you in the match. Connecting, it's great because it has its own servers, so you can actually practice with the delay that you're going to experience in a real game, because obviously you're not going to be on LAN in a real game unless you're playing in a tournament, and in that case you probably already know what the training polygon is. Wait for this crap to go away. Hopefully this Pugna sign will be Dota Alchemy someday. Click cool story, the bottom. So here we have abilities dodging. A lot of these other modes are really great. I won't go into them right now, maybe for future series, but you want to go to the Manta, dodge with that, and then the kind of important thing is that you should turn the time bar on, and then basically you'll see this timer at the bottom of the screen, and it's going to tell you when to dodge things, and you can kind of do it like you would do Guitar Hero, if you guys have ever played a game like that, or Dance Dance Revolution, where you basically just press your Manta key when the little green thing comes up, and it's much easier to do, but it'll actually train you to eventually be able to turn the time bar off and get really, really good at dodging without the time bar, and then at that point, you know, you're basically capable of Manta dodging whatever spell you dodge. But I'll show you with the time bar on. I'm probably going to screw this up because I'm doing this on the fly and I haven't done it in a while. And offlaners don't really get Manta style, let's be real. Okay, I should select at least one skill. Whoops, select all. So you want to select everything, and then you can see. So, I mean, it's pretty easy. Good. Yes, I did a good job. Meteor Hammer. All right. So as you can see, it's pretty weird when these spells actually land. You wouldn't really. Okay, so I screwed that one up. So it's not that easy even with the time bar. You can screw it up, especially if you're delirious like me. That's a good example, the Warlock one, because it really seems like that should come out a lot earlier than it does. Anyway, I'm going to start getting hit. I took my hand off the keyboard now. So that's it for this video, guys. I would definitely suggest checking out the training polygon for whatever it is that you want to practice. This is especially good for Manta dodging. In fact, if you look at a lot of the leaderboards, Arteezy is at the top of them for this particular arcade mode, because it's actually really, really good for practicing, and there's nothing else that's like it right now. So thank you so much for watching this video. I do genuinely appreciate it, and I hope to see you guys in the rest of this series.